Resident Playbook Episode 3 Review. Every patient comes with a family. Episode 3 of Resident Playbook isn't about dramatic emergencies or major plot twists. It's about something more real. It's about learning that patients don't come alone. They come with stories, with fears, and most of all, with people who care deeply about them. And for our young residents, that means becoming more than just competent doctors. It means learning to care with their whole heart. Let's talk about Dr. Oh Yi-young. She's now the primary physician for a new patient, a young woman who's facing a life-changing diagnosis. On top of the already overwhelming pressure of being a first-year OB/GYN resident, Yi-young is expected to explain complicated medical information, make clinical decisions, and somehow reassure both the patient and her family. That's a tall order, especially when you're still figuring out where the bathroom is in your own hospital. Yi-young starts off unsure. She hesitates. She avoids eye contact. Her voice wavers when speaking to the patient's mother. Every word she says seems carefully measured, but not in a comforting way. She's not cold, just lost. And for the first time, it hits her being a doctor isn't just about knowing the diagnosis. It's about delivering it with grace. But something shifts. Senior resident Koo Do-won sees her struggling. He doesn't give a lecture. He gives advice that's simple and clear. Start by seeing them as people. That one sentence changes everything for Yi-young. The next time she walks into the room, she still looks nervous, but she also looks ready. She makes eye contact. She speaks gently. She listens more than she talks. The patient's mother, at first guarded and anxious, starts to soften. And in that moment, Yi-young grows. Not dramatically. Not suddenly. But in a way that feels real. Meanwhile, her fellow residents are going through changes of their own. Sa-bi realizes that being right isn't always helpful. She gives a perfectly factual explanation to a patient, but the reaction she gets is silence and discomfort. Later, she admits to herself that the truth if delivered without warmth can feel cold. So she makes a decision. She wants to be the kind of doctor who brings comfort, not just answers. She and Nam-kyung make a small pact over lunch. Let's become the friendly ones. The kind doctors. The ones people remember for the right reasons. Nam-kyung, as usual, lightens the mood with humor. But behind her jokes is a growing understanding of the emotional side of medicine. She watches Yi-young struggle, sees Sa-bi questioning herself, and starts to realize that kindness might actually be the hardest part of the job. And then there's Jae-il. The former idol-turned-resident continues to surprise everyone. He doesn't talk much, but he's always the first to notice when something's wrong. He quietly checks vitals. Offers to cover a shift without asking for anything in return. He's not flashy, but he's reliable. And in a hospital where everything moves too fast, that kind of steady presence is everything. The emotional high point of the episode comes when Yi-young has to deliver the diagnosis to the young patient and her family. She takes a deep breath. Her hands don't shake as much this time. She speaks clearly, respectfully, and with just enough vulnerability to show that she truly cares. The mother begins to cry, but not out of confusion or fear. Out of relief. Because she knows her daughter is in good hands. And Yi-young? She walks out of the room and takes a long breath. She doesn't smile. She doesn't cry. But she stands a little straighter. Because she's becoming the kind of doctor who doesn't just treat symptoms, she treats people. Later, we see the residents in the break room. They're exhausted. One flips through a textbook half asleep. Another shares snacks without saying a word. And Yi-young writes a note in her journal. Just one line today, I tried. And that's enough. What episode 3 of Resident Playbook gives us is something we rarely see in medical dramas. Not the adrenaline. Not the miracle cures. But the quiet work of becoming someone who matters in another person's life. This isn't about perfecting a surgical technique. It's about learning how to stay present when someone else's world is falling apart. It reminds us that medical training isn't just about skill. It's about character. It's about empathy. And most importantly, it's about listening, really listening to the people in front of you. Episode 3 isn't flashy, but it's honest. It shows us that even when you're overwhelmed, even when you feel like running, choosing to stay and care anyway is what makes you grow. If you've ever felt like you're not ready, if you've ever doubted whether you're enough, this episode is for you. Because just like Yi Young, you're probably doing better than you think. Thank you for watching this review of episode 3. If you found it meaningful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. We'll be back with episode 4, diving even deeper into the messy, beautiful world of becoming a doctor. See you then.